some of the basics or moves like every b-boy should have or usually has is like the six step. Six step is a basic step for footworks. Then you have spins, you have head spins, you have back spins, you have elbow spins. Back in the days we even had knee spins, but you don't see this anymore. You have different forms of freezes. You have the chair freeze, you have the baby freeze. So there's a whole wide of vocabulary of dancing. So you have like the power moves, you have continuous backspin, which developed into windmill. Then you have the Thomas flares, which originally was founded by a gymnastic guy named Kurt Thomas, who was in the US national team of gymnastics, and he did the Thomas flares on the pommel horse. So the b-boys found this move very interesting, so they did it in a b-boy solo. So that's a Thomas flare. Then you have air flares, you have elbow twists, you have jump turtles. So there's a really, really big variety of different moves, which a dancer has to have on mind. But then still, of course, it is really, really important for being a really good dancer that you have your own signature move, which you maybe invented. So this is very special. And this is really hard nowadays because so many people do it. Everything has been there already, so it's really hard and complicated to really invent something new, but it still happens. And then, if you create this today, then you're a really good special dancer. Storm's first name was Swipes, and Swipes is also a move, and Storm always could do the swipes really nice in different variations, so that's why he called himself Swipes. But then somehow when he went to New York first in the 90s, somebody somehow changed his name into Storm because maybe he was so energetic and powerful, but I don't know why he changed exactly from Swipes to Storm. Also, like what is really important about b-boying and the dance form is the style. This is what you also hear from skateboarders or snowboarders. Style is something you really cannot put in words. It's something like how cool or easy you move, if you smile while you're dancing, if you dance really nice to the rhythm, if you know the songs and you dance on the tunes. For example, you make your moves on the beats and stuff like this, or on some trumpet or whatever, you know. So if you can do this, you are really a stylish dancer, for example. So you can see this. So some so-called b-boys are not even able to dance on the rhythm. So they really look like gymnastic people, you know. So you never should forget that the b-boying is an art form and it's dancing. So and dancing always means moving to the rhythm. So if you can't dance to the rhythm, of course you will never get like much respect from the scene or high scores from the judges. So yeah, if you have everything like originality, for example, if you have your own moves, if you dance to the rhythm, if you have a really good and positive or maybe aggressive stage presence, if you play with your opponent, that makes up a really good and unique dancer. The originators, like, of course, they come from the United States, mainly from New York. So if I talk about somebody like Prince Ken Swift, who was a member of the Rocksteady crew, second generation, I mean, he came from the United States. But then, like, that was the birthplace of hip-hop and b-boying, New York City. But then it spread all over the United States. So a little bit later, one could find good dancers on the West Coast, in California, Los Angeles, San Francisco. And then, of course, it spread all over. So there were b-boys 84 in Japan, in Africa, in Germany, and then in every little continent and country you had your own legends. But some of the legends, for example, in Germany, people like Storm, for example, they turned out being legends worldwide because they were representing really hard, they were traveling to other events, and or videos were spread. So everybody knew, like, let's say, 90, from 90 to 95, everybody worldwide was only more or less talking about Storm. So the first time I saw breakdancing or b-boying was around, I would say, 83. I was, I would say, 13 years old maybe at that time. And I was watching TV at home and I saw a live broadcasting from the Berliner Funkausstellung. And I didn't know at all what breakdancing was at that time. So all of a sudden I saw some people on the stage at the Funkausstellung, and they were performing some crazy kind of dance with a jumping, flipping, spinning, and I really didn't know what it was. But from the first second on, I felt and I thought, okay, that's something I have to learn, I have to do also, because it's a perfect combination of music and gymnastics, or let's say acrobatics, combined into a dance form. So that was actually the first time I saw breakdancing, which was on TV, but actually I'm not sure. I think straight I tried it in the living room. I tried to do the moves, but you have to see like you saw something on TV, but then it was gone and there was no DVD player or something. I didn't even tape it. So you saw something, it was not there, and then you tried to copy it, but it was really hard to practice it because there was nothing. There were no DVDs, there were no videotapes. So everything you created in the 80s was made up on your mind more or less. So it was really complicated, but on the other way, it has more open space for your own fantasy and your own creativity. Nowadays, you watch clips on slow motion, so it's really easy more or less. If you have a good teacher and a good video clip, you can learn a move within 1 week. And for me, for example, to learn a windmill, which in the 80s was a really complicated move, took me more or less 2 years because I had nobody showing me and I had no video or DVD player explaining how to do this move. At that time, for example, some movies came into the cinema, like movies like Beat Street or Breakin' or Wild Style. So you went to a movie and expecting, okay, you see something. So you saw the movie sometimes twice or 3 times, and then you try to copy it, you try to do it. But we were more or less 84, we were the first generation in Europe, so we had no teachers. And New York was far away. I was 14 years old, so I never ever thought about even one day flying to New York because I was 13, 14 years old. So for me it was an adventure to go to Munich in Germany or to Berlin, but not to New York. So I had nobody teaching me. So of course you had to think about it, imagine how did they do it. And that sometimes led to funny things because you created a move, you tried to copy a move you have seen on TV yesterday, but you did it a little bit different. And sometimes it even turned out in a new move. So that was really exciting. It was hard because you can imagine, like I wanted to do the windmill so much, but I never found out for a long time how to do it because like I had it not on TV 24 hours. So, but I remember still when I managed to do my first windmill, I was really like, yes, I made it. So I really was happy and it was like a big kick for me. Yeah. And I guess that was the same to more or less everybody. Still today, if you manage to do a new move you have seen somewhere and you do it for the first time, you are really, really hyped or happy, But nowadays, the success is coming really, really faster than 20 years ago because it's easier today.